been scared to fail at something that really matters to you? Like writing a project, speaking up in a class, or trying an idea you believed? I know this feeling very well. Your heart starts beating fast, your hands shake, and a small voice in your head keeps saying, what if I'm not good enough? I used to think that failure was something to avoid at all costs, that it meant I wasn't smart or strong enough. Every time something went wrong, and it felt like the end of the world. I once started a project that completely failed. It was supposed to be a youth initiative, something I believed would really make a difference. I remember sitting in front of my laptop late at night. I was next to half empty coffee cups and a long list of tasks. The lunch day came, and no one joined. The message stayed unread, the post had only a few likes, and the people I had counted on slowly stopped replying. As that evening, I stared at the screen, refreshing the page again and again, hoping for different results. My chest felt tight, my stomach twisted. And it wasn't just disappointment. It felt personal, like the failure defines me. I kept thinking, what if I'm not good enough for this? Days passed, and I couldn't stop replying it in my head. Every mistake, every small detail. But one day, everything changed. I met with a friend who said, maybe it didn't fail. Maybe it just showed you what doesn't work yet. That message stuck with me. I realized that my failure wasn't the end of the project. It was the beginning of understanding how to build it right. That experience taught me something unexpected. The failure is not always about falling. Sometimes it's about slowing down. Let's be honest. We're all been there. You're about to speak up in a class or take a chance on something new, but your heart starts racing. What if you fail? What if people think you're not good enough? Instead of trying, you stay silent or choose safer path. That's the real problem. Many of us see failure as the end. We believe that one mistake can erase all effort and prove that we aren't capable. This fear stems from a deep-seated cause. We tie our self-worth to our result. When we succeed, we are valuable. When we fail, we are worthless. Especially for high achievements, this mindset can become a trap. The higher the standards, the harder the fall. And not only our own thoughts build this fear, our environment reinforces it. Our schools reward praise over growth, social media celebrate perfect outcomes, not the messy process behind them. Even our peers are often noting success more than the effort it takes to reach it. So, we start avoiding risks. We choose safe, predictable goals instead of ambitious ones that could really help us grow. We procrastinate because we are afraid of not doing something perfectly. Some of us are even self-sabotage. We'd rather blame lack of time or bad luck than admit we tried and failed. This fear doesn't only shape our present, it quietly limits our future. When we avoid mistakes, we also avoid opportunities. Creativity fades, confidence weakens, and over time we stop learning. And our biggest regret is not about the failures we had, it's about the chances we never took because we were too afraid to fail. Maybe you have felt something similar. You fail once, and suddenly this moment starts following you in places you never expected. It changes how you perceive feedback, how you approach challenges, and even how you communicate with yourself. Instead of thinking, can I do this? You start thinking, what if it goes wrong again? And it's not about avoiding risks anymore. It's about learning how to live with the echo of mistake that's felt too heavy for your age. But what if failure doesn't teach you? What if it quietly shapes you in ways you don't notice? When you try your best and still fall short, something shifts inside you. A part of your confidence cracks. You start doubting your abilities, your ideas, and even your worth. And with every new attempt, the memory of that failure whispers that maybe it will happen again. One day, you might realize that it wasn't the failure that held you back, it was the failure you had already lived through. So, how we can turn failure into opportunity? The first step is to rename failure as data. Instead of saying, I messed up, say, I collected important information for the next step. After a setback, answer three questions. What happened? What did you learn? And what I will do differently next time? This shifts you from shame to reflection, reduces fear, and opens space for ideas. Seeing mistakes as information helps you to stop treating failures as a judgment and using it as a guide to improve. The second step is to practicing micro failures. And I have a challenge for you. For the next time, try a challenge 10% success challenge. Every day, do one small thing that scares you a little. Something you can fail at but can learn from. It could be speaking up in a class, asking a question that you're unsure, or trying an idea you've never done before. At the end of the week, write down what you learned from each attempt. Remember, it's not to succeed, it's to get used to trying, even when the outcome's in a session. Because the more you face small failures, the less power they have over you. By using these approaches, my life finally changed. I stopped judging myself by how perfect I was and started noticing how much braver and calmer I became with every try. When something didn't work out, I didn't think it meant I wasn't good enough. It was just part of learning. Research shows that when we face failures less, our creativity can grow by to 40%. Every small risk and every mistake seen as information becomes a step towards freedom. A freedom to try, to explore, and to grow. Failure is not the end. It's hidden data, a quiet teacher that guides us towards something better. What I once saw as loss of time, I now see as a gift of perspective. Each setback is an opportunity to pause, to reflect, and move forward better. So, the next time you face a mistake, remember, it doesn't take time away. It gives you time to see what really matters. Start seeing your failures as your guide, not your enemy.